friends, and welcome to TurtleQueenGaming and back to Cinders. I apologize for the lack of uploading frequency. I am broke, and VisionCon is coming up, so I'm taking whatever shifts I can get. And on that note, I get to start donating plasma for the next few weeks. Yeah. And let me tell you why. I am going to VisionCon, and the lovely, lovely hotel chain that VisionCon has decided to associate itself with this year, they decided that their idea of being generous to con-goers and the convention people holding their con there is taking $15 off of their original hotel price per night. That's right. So if you stay 2 nights, you get to save a whopping $30. That way you can afford your ticket into the hotel. Oh. Jesus criminy. I don't even. Like, that doesn't include parking. You have to pay for parking, and the taxes, and the hotel rooms are already outrageous. So in the end, it's almost $300 for 2 nights worth of hotels. $300. That's baloney. That's not even appropriate. I'm a little angry about it. I've already committed to staying in this hotel room. And even if I had, like, with people that I'm going with, even if I hadn't, I find it incredibly unfair of them to not care. They're snooty motherfuckers. You know what they told the VisionCon people? What they basically told them was something along the lines of, well, we're the best hotel in Branson, so deal with it. I mean, they basically told them that they should feel privileged to have their convention in their hotel. That's not how a convention hotel should behave. Your lifeline is the people going to these cons. That's bringing in people to your hotel. You should be appreciative, and I know for a fact it does not cost them $100 and something, like $150 something to run that one room out of the hotel. Now, I understand profit margin. I totally understand profit margin. I myself, as a small business owner, starting up my own food service, like, totally understand you got to make a profit. But there's a difference between making a, like, 40% profit and, like, a 120% profit. Like, I know it doesn't cost you that much. The maid doesn't take that much time to clean the rooms. I've seen the rooms. They're not that fancy. They should at least include parking. It's stupid, because parking's going to be stupid hard to find anyway with a bajillion people there. Not happy with them. Not happy. But, at the same time, I don't feel like I should have to compromise myself, because it'd be easier for me as a vendor to run stuff up and down from the hotel room in the same hotel that the convention center is staying at. I don't want to have to keep all my stuff at my booth. I want to be able to go back to my hotel room and not have to, like, load everything into the car and drive 15, 20 minutes down the road. Anyway, let's get back to Cinders. Not happy. So, I'm gonna pay for it. But, I'll be damned. I hope VisionCon better never have their con in this hotel ever again, because fuck that. Anywho, I'm going to the Tavern, because we're gonna get in with Peralta, because he's gonna be our ticket to the prince. That actually sounds awful. Tobias is not going anywhere, and I'm starving. Sorry, friend, but this girl has her priorities straight. Priorities, girls. What am I buying food with? I wonder if the captain is here already, or maybe they have complimentary soup. Sometimes inns do that. He's such an intriguing man. I wish I could spend a little more time getting to know him, and today it almost sounded as if he invited me here. That's right, because the argument with Madame Guidi. Ah, there he is, sitting in the same corner he sat in last time. Habit? Looks like he's leaving. Wait, is he coming towards me? So you came. I remember correctly that your name is Cinders, right? Yes, I'm surprised you recognized me in the town square today. Well, you were on my mind. Oh, was I? Would you care to join me for a drink? I'd be happy to. Hang on! You were thinking about me? Yes, you came to mind after a recent discussion I had with the prince. Oh-ho. Oh, I'm flattered, I think? What were you talking about exactly? A candidate for a wife, of course. Of course! Surely you heard about the king's last wish. Actually, I haven't. According to the king's final wish, the prince cannot be crowned until he's found a wife for himself. So the coronation is being postponed, and every noble in the kingdom is trying to foist a daughter onto him. It's been very tiring for him, as many of the women are groomed for looks alone. He's losing faith. I think that the world still holds many bright and intelligent women. You're living proof. Aw. Oh, well, I'm grateful for the compliment, but I'm not sure what else to say. My apologies. The drink is making me more direct than it is proper. Aha! It was just kind of like spilling everything out. Let me tell you about this incredibly private conversation I had with the prince. These days, there's little to pass time in my position, so I spend many hours here. I don't want to bore you with the small complaints of my life, and I apologize for being so curt with you the last time we met. I understand. A lot happens, and it's no surprise if you weren't in the mood for discussion. Honestly, I should probably apologize for bothering you when you wanted to be left alone. It wasn't a bother. I found the discussion very interesting. Listen, I know you asked about the prince last time. Are you still interested in learning more? Oh, that's a really interesting way to, like... I'm gonna save real quick. That's a really interesting way of branching off the paths. Like, I can solidify Peralta's here. Like, no, actually, I kind of like you, Peralta, but I'm still going after the prince in the first playthrough. Which, honestly, is actually kind of a silly idea. Like, because I don't know what kind of decisions I need to make to get to him. And by the time I get to him, I may have already locked myself out of his path. But then I've already locked myself out of everybody else's path by ignoring them to get to him, so it actually seems more complicated. Irrelevant. Still going to try. We'll just have to see. I would love to hear more about the prince, especially after what you just said. The sort of man who's interested in more than just a woman's appearance seems interesting to me. He is interesting, albeit very young. The king was a highly respected ruler for many years. Filling his position is a huge burden for the young monarch. Living in the shadow of a strong personality? That sounds familiar. It must be so difficult for him. I have faith in him, though. He has drive and passion to become a truly great ruler. He also is not afraid to change things that need to be changed, however challenging that may be. The old noble houses don't like change, especially if they lose power in the process. The prince must be prepared to face some difficult and potentially dangerous opposition. He must be a brave man, then. It certainly seems so, but time will tell if he makes the right choices. Some are harder than others. What do you mean? The prince may have to use force on his opposition to achieve unity. That makes complete and total sense. The king wasn't afraid to wage wars, imprison deserters, and even assassinate his enemies. Being a monarch is much more difficult than people are led to believe. It's a brutal position to be in. The prince might have to make similar decisions. Ooh, save. I don't know. I don't know if the prince would like me understanding. I mean, he's going to have to make the decisions regardless. I mean, you can't just decide not to keep your country unified just for the sake of your morality. That's not how it works. But I know Peralta definitely wants me to understand. And I don't know if it's like a split thing or if I can just cut off both of them. I don't know. I'm going to say I understand because I personally understand. It is a difficult choice, but I understand why it needs to be done. It's rare to hear such an opinion from an outsider. You really do carry wisdom beyond your years. He called me old. You hear that? He called me old. Sometimes I miss the days of the king. Things were simpler than even conflict. I'd rather have a sword thrust into my heart than a dagger in my back. These days, everything is poisonous words and false smiles. The old ways may have been more violent, but they were more honest too. Even in times of so-called peace, people's lives can be destroyed. The prince tries to solve as much as he can with diplomacy, but he will have to make some difficult decisions. That's enough of such heavy subjects, though. I'd rather get to know you more, if you don't mind. You look like a girl from town, but I haven't seen you around. I don't live in town, actually. I live in the house ruled by Lady Cremosa. Oh, forgive me. I didn't realize you were nobility. Your clothes give the appearance of one of the townfolk. I mean, really. I didn't know you were incognito. Oh, wow! He honestly, like, I like that his first idea when he learns that I'm nobility, or he just, like, accepts that I must be nobility and not a servant if I live in the house, and, like, instead of being a servant that lives in Lady Cremosa's house, I must be a noble, dressing to blend in so that I can have a nice day off. Weird. That's really nice of him, though. It's not a disguise. This is what I wear every day. After my father passed, Cremosa took over. She treats me as one of the servants, but without pay. I don't even have money to spend on clothing. I'm sorry to hear that. It's a shame your father chose Cremosa to take over the estate. He chose her? Isn't that what happened? Before he passed away, he should have left a will. The will would appoint the next head of house. It's a shame he didn't choose you. I've never heard anything about this will. I don't think Father would willingly put me in this position. That doesn't sound right at all. If Lady Cremosa wasn't appointed, then she's breaking the law. I didn't realize that. Something about this situation seems suspicious. Well, I mean, he did die suddenly, so it's possible that he didn't write a will at all, because in that effect, then everything's left to the wife. It always is. The children don't matter, even if they're blood related. I hope you get it sorted out. I wish I could speak with you longer, but I must start my patrol. It was a pleasure talking with you. If you ever need anything, I'd be happy to help you. Thank you. I'll see you then. Take care of yourself. This is the first time I've heard of Father's will. I wonder why he never wrote one. Unless he did write one. In that case, what happened to it? I have to investigate as soon as I get the chance. Well, there's no point in sitting here in the tavern alone. I don't want to attract the wrong company. Makes sense. It was nice seeing Captain Peralta again. He's such an interesting man. His persona is so rough and intimidating, and he carries himself like a man who's seen war. But he's also so straightforward and honest, almost naive, like a child raised on tales of knighthood. There are worse ways to raise your child. The fact that he still holds on to his ideals after all this time is admirable. There's something pure about it. Really, it's nice to get to know him better. It's still pretty early. I think I should go and visit Tobias. Who knows when we'll get another chance to talk after Cremosa comes back. Well, if I was visiting both of them, why did I get to choose? Oh, my eyeball. Oh, my eyeball. Ow. Okay. My, this place is as tidy as ever. Tobias really keeps the store in shape. Speaking of Tobias. Cinders, I didn't expect to see you again so soon. This is a pleasant surprise. Well, I'm kind of lucky in that respect. Cremosa suddenly decided to leave for a few days. It must be great to have some freedom. It does. Feel great, I assume, is what he said. I wish it wasn't for such a short amount of time, but I'll enjoy what I have. Although I confess, I'm envious of you, Tobias. You get to make your own decisions all the time. Well, I can't exactly say that. After all, my parents passed away when I was young, so the store was my only option. Right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's fine. In the end, we just get to see the good portions of people's lives, without the hardship. We pick and choose what we want. People look happy, but they might be struggling inside. Actually, makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's how people become jealous. You don't realize how much bad their life actually is. That's true. It seems like you've thought about this a lot. Maybe a little. Despite all the struggles, I'm happy with where I am in life, though. I wish you could find the path of your life that you want as well. Although knowing you, wishes won't be necessary. You're a bright girl, so it's only a matter of time. Aw, thanks. Thank you. But I assume that you aren't here to listen to my life lessons. So what brings you here? I don't know. I mean, I want to ask about the night because I'm really curious about what the hell is going on. But, I mean, I don't want to make him angry and him not be my friend anymore, but at the same time I'm not going down his path. I'm gonna ask. I'm just too curious. Actually, I came to ask you about something. Oh, and what would that be? I want to know what happened 3 nights ago. I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Please don't play dumb. I saw you. You saw me? But how? I followed that shifty-looking character from my house. He seemed suspicious, so I was curious. I confess I was surprised to see you dealing in something so underhanded. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. I have to know what happened. Are you involved in something illegal or immoral? Of course not. Although it does really look that way, doesn't it? No, he's not nearly as mad as I thought he'd be. I suppose I'll have to explain things now, otherwise it'll look even more suspicious. I'd appreciate it if you did. Put simply, Carmosa asked me to sell something for her. It was a normal business transaction. But you're the one who was paid, and then you received the necklace. Why all the secrecy? Oh, the necklace was the item for me to sell. The money was payment for my services. Why didn't you just sell it herself? And why did you have to hire that strange man? And why didn't you just take your payment out of the necklace when it's sold? That strange man is a local vagabond, but he's trustworthy where money is involved, usually. Sometimes he helps me with tasks that require a certain amount of delicacy. You mean secrecy, but why? Isn't it apparent? Why does any noble keep anything a secret? I'd rather not guess. Enlighten me. Being a noble is largely a game of appearances. Many things need to be done in private. There's no crime in selling a piece of jewelry that you rightfully own, is there? Crime? No. But for a noble to sell her own jewelry means that she's lacking in money. If others found out she was struggling financially, it would undermine her power. That's why she sent you to pay me and had someone else to pick it up the necklace in the middle of the night. She doesn't want there to be any connection between her and me. She's not the only one. I've done similar business with other noble houses in the past. But, are you saying Carmosa is out of money? She kept it from you? Your house has been in bad financial shape since your parents have passed. Carmosa has been struggling to keep her influence strong. She never told me. I suppose being a noble means keeping up appearances in front of your own family as well. She seems very eager to sell the necklace as quickly as possible. Is there a reason for that? Well, the necklace is worth a great sum, but I don't know why Carmosa needs it so urgently. That's all I know. I hope you understand why I couldn't tell you about this. Oh yeah, no, I totally understand. I understand. You had to keep your word no matter the circumstances were. It must have been hard. I can't deny that, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy that you found out anyway. I'm sorry I doubted you. You've always been a good and honest man. It's fine. My actions were fairly suspicious after all. And you really are a brave woman to go in the forest alone at night. I don't know if brave is the word for it. Impulsive, maybe. Or determined. I certainly wouldn't want to be on your bad side. Then don't keep secrets from me anymore. I have a question, though, about the man who was working for you. I saw him come by the house again 2 days ago. Was he there to do another pickup for Carmosa? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't seen him since we parted ways 3 nights ago. Carmosa left the house quite suddenly after he came by. Do you think they could be related? It's hard to say. You could try asking him. He spends a lot of time at the inn. And he drops by around here occasionally. I think I'll do that. Thanks. Don't mention it. I just wish I could help more. Well, I need to get going now. Gloria will have a fit if I don't return early. She's taking her role as house guardian very seriously. I can imagine. Your sister has always been serious about everything. That's true. She tries so hard to be like Hermosa. I know she means well, but it's truly annoying. Well, that's neat. It seems that the decisions that I've made in the past affect what I'm saying now. So if I had been, like, hateful on her, I'd be saying mean, hateful things right now. Poor girl. Agreed. Sometimes I pity her. Anyway, I really need to get going now. Understood. I have some business I must attend to as well. But you're always a welcome guest here. If you ever need anything, you know where to find me. Thank you. Take care, Tobias. Take care, Cinders. It was nice seeing you again. Okay, so I wonder if I talked to Tobias first and had that conversation, if I could have found the vagabond or shifty character or whatever you want to call him in the inn instead of Peralta since he's on his rounds. Oh well. It's getting late, and I don't want to get back home just yet. For all I know, this may be my last day of freedom for a long, long time. My headphone. I'd rather make the most of it. I feel like doing something crazy, something wild, like... Oh, I know. I will go for a walk. The fact that I can't really afford anything is the best joke of my life. I can still go visit the marketplace. Watching is usually free. Anything but going back home. Oh no, not yet. It's astonishing what a simple walk can do to one's spirits. If I'm going to miss the freedom to do something, then above all else, it's the freedom to wander about whenever I please. When I walk with no specific goal, no destination, I can just switch off and observe my thoughts jumping into their little drawers. With each step, I can feel my muscles relaxing. And strolling through the market has its moments too. I saw the most gorgeous shoes. Nice that they threw shoes in there. Not that I could ever afford them. They were crazily expensive. I get that they were imported from the eastern lands, but at that price, they should be made of diamonds and dragon skin. Who buys something like that? I mean, I know I would if I could, but that's beside the point, right? Ah, forget about it. There's no use dwelling on such things. It's such a pity that that big red bat is coming back tomorrow. It's a terrible thing to call Hermosa. Today was pretty uneventful, but it's been so nice to simply be able to talk to people, like an ordinary person. Then again, this day wouldn't be as pleasant as if it were so... This day wouldn't be nearly as pleasant if it weren't so rare for me to feel free. It's getting late. I should be heading back home. Time to say goodbye to freedom. Hello there, Cinders. You just slide in. I imagine he, like, did the slide in. Oh, dear. Hello, Cinders. Oh, I didn't see you coming. Hello, Captain. It's because you just kind of slid in. So, how are you doing? You look a bit upset. Do I? Oh, no. Quite the contrary. I just got back from a nice walk. Cleared my mind of trouble. And what are you doing here, Captain? I was just about to begin my evening patrol. Although, with this kind of weather, you could compare it for going to a walk. I mean, I really should get home. Gloria's gonna miss me. But at the same time, Peralta's my best way of understanding that the prince needs, like, I can go to the ball and the prince can meet me. Since I can't seem to meet the shady character. I'm gonna go. Sounds lovely indeed. Would you mind if I accompanied you? I hope it isn't too dangerous. Dangerous? Hardly. But are you sure? You said you just spent the afternoon walking about and the patrol route is quite long. Don't worry about me. I'm stronger than I look. Besides, this is my last day of freedom. I'd rather make it last as long as possible. The big red... Lady Hermosa is coming back home tomorrow. I see. Now I understand the long face. Very well then. You may come with me, but be warned. I will not change or shorten the route, even if you're tired. It may not be the most demanding duty there is for a soldier, but it's a duty still. Oh, don't worry. I can be very militant if there's a need for it. Some of my witty reports and well-aimed grimaces could be classified as weaponry. The fuck? I had no idea you were such a menace. I can only hope I won't end up arresting you for possession of lethal irony. Oh my god. That was amazing, Peralta. I am ashamed to say that I failed miserably at this attempt at being a guard. What do you mean? Is there something wrong? My feet are killing me, and I thought I had a chance at this line of work. You've walked almost the whole route already, and it seemed fine patrolling job to me. The town is safe, calm, and nothing happened on your watch. Isn't that what matters? Does anything dangerous ever happen on these routes? Because if so, I must admit I'm disappointed with our walk and its unfulfilled potential for adventure. Well, no. It's almost always uneventful. Then I really feel like I accomplished something today. But if these patrols don't change anything, why do you do them? I did not say they changed nothing, Cinders. Maybe it is because of them that the town is peaceful. Maybe something will happen and the town is going to need me to be there. Good point. Like the kidnapping the other day. It was good that you were around. Yes, but whatever happens, or does not happen, these patrols are my duty, Cinders. Written generations ago to keep this town in order, so that is what I will do. Does your duty make every choice for you? It even dictates how you spend your evenings. One might think you have no clue what to do when duties are done. I did make one choice, to become a guard. I do accept my duties as they are a consequence of who I am. So you don't seem to accept the concept of duty in general, though. It's fine. I mean, I can understand. From what you have told me about your house and its rules, you are bound to dislike your duties. Isn't that almost by definition? Duty is something you have to do, not want to do, not chosen. How can you like an obligation like that? Ah, but if you choose to have an obligation, something that you would like... This is how it is for you, as Cremosa took over your house and life. For me, it is different. I have chosen to accept my duties. Or I have chosen and accepted my duties. Or maybe chosen to accept them. I see the purpose of my duties and am glad that I can contribute to it. And if I can have a pleasant walk at the end, if I can have a pleasant walk every evening as a means to uphold order in this town, is it really that bad? When it pours or snows, the pleasure must be doubled. Okay, you've got me there. Though the town does look better when all the dirt and these clashing colors are covered by snow, or at least smudged by the rain in your eyes. So you honestly like protecting this sleepy, dirty town? I distinctly remember you saying that you missed the past, the times of battles. Where do your patrols fit into that? I do whatever is necessary. If the times demand that I walk the town, that is what I will do. But yes, I prefer the thrill of battle and times when heroism has its use. I can't figure you out, Captain. One minute you stop to show me a magnificent view of the evening mist over the lake that unfolds from the palace stairs. The minute later you are admitting that killing is more preferable to you than such an evening stroll. I do prefer battle, but I certainly did not say that I prefer it over this evening stroll in particular. Hey, I see what you did there. Thank you. So you are a warrior, or a poet, or a killer poet, maybe? Oh, I would be an awful poet, I assure you. In fact, you may be right. My poetry would probably kill. So you're not even going to try? Oh, come on. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you break the law, then I'll kill you? Oh my god. What the fuck? As you can see, I'm not a poet. But then again, why do you think killing and poetry exclude each other? That's a child's way of thinking. I've seen cruel crooks who wrote delicate poetry, and not all warriors are mindless brutes. You're right, I'm sorry. That's okay, but please understand, I do not enjoy killing. What makes me feel good is the sense of proficiency at something, of being useful. I can see the value of freedom, but the notion of having a purpose is what works for me and makes me happy. It's nice to see someone content with where they are and what they do. Maybe the fact that I enjoy breaking the rules is caused by the fact that I myself am not. Ah, but I broke a rule by inviting you to go on patrol with me, and did enjoy it very much. Aw, I'm glad. And if I offended you by questioning your way of life, I'm sorry. I did not mean to be rude or nosy. I apologize to men a lot. By no means. There aren't many people I can talk to about such things, and how can you think things through if you don't let them be questions? So thank you. Damn, Peralta, just dropping the knowledge. I was a bit skeptical beforehand about patrolling together. Now I regret that we can't do it more often. Okay. I don't want to be uninterested, because I still think he's my in with the prince. I feel like I'm leading him on just a little too much. But I'm going to be friendly. I'm glad. And I might not be the master of my own time when Carmosa is around, but you are, at least when your duties allow it. We might not be able to stroll like this anytime soon, but if you'd like to talk, you're welcome to drop by anytime. Carmosa is bad, but I don't think she is rude enough to ask you to leave, nor does she have the nerve, so if you like, do come and visit. That's really nice of you, and I might do just that. I find talking to you very interesting and refreshing. I hope you won't mind me saying this, but you are much more mature than your age should permit. There he goes, calling me old again. Thank you. On a different note, I've noticed something today. When you and Madame Guidi spoke earlier, you seem quite familiar with each other. I owe her my life. Such an experience does bring people closer and creates a bond, maybe even for life. Really? What happened? That sounds like there's an interesting story behind it. I was just doing my duty. I led a small group against brigands terrorizing the forest. I got separated while chasing their escaping leader. I got him eventually, but he managed to wound me. I lost consciousness there in the middle of nowhere. Madame Guidi was out searching for herbs when she found me. You could have bled to death. Yes, but Madame Guidi took me to her hideout and nursed me back to health, and I will always be grateful for that. Sounds almost like a fairy tale. All that's missing is a romance and the they lived happily ever after ending. Well, at least part of that did happen. But it was no fairy tale, so we did not live happily ever after. This was a real story of bloodstains and pain, and... Wait, you were actually with Madame Guidi? The wise and mysterious one, romantically involved with the ominous Witch of the Woods? I'm sorry if I have spoiled the story and the characters for you. But I am not dark and brooding night, and Madame Guidi is not an unearthly being. We are just human. I know. I'm sorry for stereotyping again. It's just so hard to imagine Madame Guidi in love. It's really not. I don't think it was love, but we were both lonely and fate brought us together. Companionship might be a better word for it. I'm sorry if that offends you. No. No, I guess I never thought about Madame Guidi as someone who could be lonely. Or with any other human weakness for that matter. She appears to be so strong. She is strong. And a good woman, so it would be a shame to see the prejudice win and drive her away from yet another town. But what you said surprises me, really. Seeing just one side of her seems unfair as well. Plus, the two of you seem so alike in many ways. I mean, that makes sense. Seeing her as just a strong woman, that's not fair to her, really. Because you can never miss when comparing a woman to your former lover. Jeez. I'm sorry, I told you I'm no poet. Don't mention it. I actually do admire Madame Guidi quite a bit, and I guess now I can see her in a different light. Both of you. A bit less mystery, a little more reality. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. You're right, and I'm the one who is sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. You didn't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go to the palace. The reporting duties call. Thank you for accompanying me. You are one of the most interesting and beautiful girls I have ever met. Can we see each other again and talk? I feel like he's falling for me. It's okay. We can still meet. As long as I keep him in, at arm's length. Thank you. I have enjoyed this walk immensely, too. I will try to arrange it so we can meet again, as difficult as it may prove. Oh, I believe you can accomplish anything if you wanted to. Thanks for the confidence. I look forward to meeting you again, then. I really need to go. Goodbye, Cinders. Have a nice night. You too, Captain. Good night. Ooh. I'm afraid that he might be falling for me just a little too much. I might be leading him on just a little more than I'm trying to do. But, I mean, I'm still kind of convinced that he's my only way to the prince. So, which sounds terrible when you think about it, but it's okay. I will go through his ending at some other point, so we'll make up for it then. Anyway, we'll cover all that in the next episode, so until next time, peace out, y'all.